Hey everybody, I'm Dan Orell from the Auburn Bee Lab. I'm here today to do an alcohol wash sample to check varroa levels. And here in this jar I've got 35% isopropyl alcohol. So in this yard we're preparing to start a study on a mite control product in 2 weeks or so. We still have supers on, but they're soon going to come off. And you may be in a similar situation where your colonies may have supers on top, but you will potentially be harvesting your honey soon around the 4th of July. But it's always important to think ahead in the beekeeping season. So even while the supers are on, it's a good time to test your mite levels and see what your mite levels are at and make an appropriate decision as to whether you need to treat soon or not. And generally, to keep colonies healthy, you generally need to treat at least twice a year, so in the spring and in the fall. And generally, we try to keep mite levels below a 3% infestation rate, so less than 3 mites per 100 bees for as much of the season as possible. So I expect these colonies to have mite levels that are quite a bit higher than that, but that's actually what we're looking for to start this trial. So let's get in here and find a brood frame to sample from. So actually on the first frame I pulled, I found the queen, so I'm just going to put her back in the hive, and then this will actually be a good frame to sample from. We try to sample from frames that have a mixture of sealed brood and open brood, so this will be a good one with sealed brood on this side and open brood on the other. So in front of me here I've got this frame that we've decided to sample from, and we've made sure the queen is put back in the colony, so we're not risking sampling her. I've got a dish pan to shake bees into and a 1/4 cup scoop, and as well I've got this jar of 35% isopropyl alcohol. So normally I would take a good look over this frame to make sure the queen wasn't on here, but since the queen has already been put back in, we can be confident that she's not on here. But even so, I always wait 10 seconds once I shake the bees into here. Normally that's my opportunity to look for the queen again, but in this case we'll wait 10 seconds just to keep it consistent, and then take 2/4 cups of bees into the alcohol. 1, 2. And that's 10 seconds. So 2/4 cups, 2 level 1/4 cups equals a 1/2 cup, which is about 300 bees. The extra bees can go back, and we can close this hive up. So here in front of us we have all the materials we need for our version of the alcohol wash. We've got our jar with 35% isopropyl alcohol and 1/2 cup of bees, so about 300 bees. We've got 2 dish bins. We've got a wide sieve that will let varroa mites fall through but capture the bees, and then we've got a fine strainer to capture the varroa mites. And I've got a watch for timekeeping. So I'm going to shake this jar for a minute, kind of a moderate agitation. All right, now it's time for the triple rinse. I like to swirl the jar to get any mites and bees suspended. Pretty quickly spread it all out on this sieve. Between rinses, I give things a little shake. So this will be the second rinse where I'm capturing mites, but rinsing the bees again. And then this is the third rinse. And no mites were recovered in that third rinse, but quite a few are on the sieve. And now we're sure that all the mites are on the sieve, and this jar is ready to take another sample. So on the sieve I counted 21 mites, and you'll notice that these are recognizable by being about the size of a sesame seed, and the mites that you find on adult bees are reddish brown, dark reddish brown. And if you look a little closer, you may be able to see the 8 legs at one end of the mite. Now with 21 mites in this sample, in a 300 bee sample approximately, to get the percent varroa infestation, you are going to divide by 3. So 21 divided by 3 is 7% mite load. And while that's appropriate for us starting a mite trial right now, that's quite a bit higher than the 3% that it's generally beneficial to keep your mite levels below if you're trying to keep your colonies optimally healthy and productive. So if we find a mite level this high, I would definitely be concerned, but it would also be good that our next treatment window is coming up quite soon after we take off the honey. And for treatment options, I would definitely recommend the Honeybee Health Coalition's guide to varroa control products.